Hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to present today's program titled Cats on behalf of Chamunda's dream to commemorate International Cat Day today, the 8th of August, a celebration that was created in 2002 by the International Fund for Animal Welfare to raise awareness for cats and learn about ways to help and protect them. Cuddly or ill tempered, sinister or standoffish, cats have never ceased to fascinate mankind. Ancient mythologies and popular culture are replete with these enigmatic creatures. They take the shape of goddesses or are the minions of gods or witches. Associated with Freya, Shoshti, Bastet, Negal, Daon, cats, unlike other domesticated animals, have filled us with awe. Bankim Chandra, Upendra Kishore, Shukumar Roy, Lewis Carroll, T.S. Eliot, Edgar Allan Poe have in various ways portrayed cats in their immortal literary creations. Among the first nursery rhymes, Pussycat, Pussycat, where have you been? Or Ding Dong Bell, Pussy's in the Well, have been our favorites as children. Why not begin with a poem about two naughty burglar cats? Presenting Jolly Das, who is going to recite from Eliot's Old Possum's book of Practical Cats, which features the antics of identical twin cats, Mungojerrie and Rumpleteazer.
This is Jolly Das, Associate Professor, Department of English, Vidyasagar University, Midnapur, Paschim Medinipur, West Bengal, India. Today I am going to read a poem from T.S. Eliot's anthology, Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, and the poem is Mungojerrie and Rumpleteazer. Mungojerrie and Rumpleteazer were a very notorious couple of cats. As knockabout clowns, quick-change comedians, tightrope walkers and acrobats, they had an extensive reputation. They made their home in Victoria Grove, that was merely their centre of operation, for they were incurably given to rove. They were very well known in Cornwall Gardens, in Launceston Place, and in Kensington Square. They had really a little more reputation than a couple of cats can very well bear. If the area window was found ajar, and the basement looked like a field of war, if a tile or two came loose on the roof, which presently ceased to be waterproof, if the drawers were pulled out from the bedroom chests and you couldn't find one of your winter vests, or after supper one of the girls suddenly missed her Woolworth pearls, then the family would say, "It's that horrible cat." It was Mungojerrie or Rumpleteazer, and most of the time they left it at that. Mungojerrie and Rumpleteazer had a very unusual gift of the gab. They were highly efficient cat burglars as well, and remarkably smart at a smash and grab. They made their home in Victoria Grove. They had no regular occupation. They were plausible fellows and liked to engage a friendly policeman in conversation. When the family assembled for Sunday dinner, with their minds made up that they wouldn't get thinner on Argentine joint, potatoes and greens, and the cook would appear from behind the scenes and say in a voice that was broken with sorrow, "I'm afraid you must wait and have dinner tomorrow, for the joint has gone from the oven," like that. Then the family would say, "It's that horrible cat. It was Mungojerrie or Rumpleteazer." And most of the time, they left it at that. Mungojerrie and Rumpleteazer had a wonderful way of working together, and some of the time you would say it was luck, and some of the time you would say it was weather. They would go through the house like a hurricane, and no sober person could take his oath was it Mungojerrie or Rumpleteazer, or could you have sworn that it mightn't be both? And when you heard a dining room smash, or up from the pantry there came a loud crash, or down from the library came a loud ping from a vase which was commonly said to be Ming, then the family would say, "Now, which was which cat? It was Mungojerrie and Rumpleteazer, and there's nothing at all to be done about that."
Well, they left it at that, but we have to go on with our little program. You see, the poem Mungojerrie and Rumpleteazer became so popular that Andrew Lloyd Webber turned it into a musical called Cats in 1981. However, Mungojerrie, though a petty thief, works as an agent for McCavity the mystery cat, also called the hidden paw in Old Possum's book. And our next presenter, Rituparna Khan, thinks that her little daughter shares some traits with the master criminal. Here is Rituparna reading her poem Ode to McCavity, which is really an ode from a mother to her daughter.
Hello, everybody. I am Rituparna Khan, an assistant professor in geography, Bidhannagar College, Salt Lake, Kolkata. Ode to McCavity, the mystery cat. This poem is inspired by my daughter, who is a cat like being on earth, and she's the naughtiest girl under the sky. And she is equally lovable and cute as a cat and the leader of catdom. And here goes the poem. A perfect feline figure, a cat with such suavity. T.S. Eliot's hidden paw is the mystery cat McCavity. You have learnt about him in loads of poetry collections. A real bafflement he is through his unique pranks. An impish goblin he is, yet you haven't seen him in any crime. But he has always been there, shunning all rules every time. Unlike all of you, however, I am really lucky. In my daughter's impish acts, I always find a McCavity. She's the sweetest cat-like being with brightest fiery vision. The actual roller coaster is she in my every real life scene. Sharp as knife, swift as wind, she's every law's despair. She reminds me of Eliot's McCavity, though he's actually not here. She looks so calm and composed, a die-hard lull before the storm. She'd never let you know about her next move of crime. Yet you can't help but love her, want to cuddle her every time. But she'll always slip away with her mellowy velvety norm. A little devil, a threat she is, a menace yet a joy, the leader of catdom, proficient in her witty charm. She is in fame for her levity. She can break the law of gravity. Her lively nuisance is so any cavity. She is my real life McCavity. Thank you very much.
Did you know there are certain species of plants named after big and small cats? We have catnip, also called catswort, catwort, catmint, and there's cat's whiskers, leopard lily, leopard plant, cat tails, kitten tails, pussy willow, cat briars, cat's clovine. But don't even think of the last one because it is a pest plant. Coming up next is Monobina Nath with a short, sweet poem, A Fluffy Cat.
Hello everyone, I'm Monobina Nath. I'm pursuing my Masters in English from West Bengal State University, Kolkata. Today, I would like to share my poem, A Fluffy Cat. So, here it goes. A Fluffy Cat. A fluffy cat standing at the top of the wooden stairs. Grey hair, black-headed spear. Have 5 claws on each front paws, 8 on rear. Relishing the evening sea with white long mustaches rollingly. She lifts her pink yogurt ears to hear her unblinking yellow black stripes smoky eyes that replies to the wise to rise to say goodbyes. Thank you.
Those of us who do not like cats or do not keep them as pets still come across them one way or the other, be they be the clever cat in Grimm's story about the fox and the cat, or meow and purr coat of grey fur in the Russian tale of the goat, the ram, and the cat, or Puss in Boots. And then there's Thomas the cat in Tom and Jerry, and Top Cat, the most intellectual cat, or Catwoman from the Batman series. But have you ever heard of a cat named Mona Lisa? Mandakini wants us to know that there indeed is one with such a name, suave and composed, but one that gets unsettled by the mere sight of a cockroach.
Hello everyone, this is Mandakini Bhattacharya. I am Associate Professor in English at Fakirchand College, Diamond Harbour, West Bengal. Thank you Chamunda's Dream and Professor Naina De for giving me this opportunity to recite this poem on the occasion of International Cat Day, which is to be celebrated on 8th of August 2022. This poem, Mona Lisa, was recently published in the May 2022 issue of Tista Review, which is a journal of poetry, so you can catch it there as well. So here goes Mona Lisa. 1 foot before the other, dainty, furry, purring. 1 foot before the other, dainty, furry, purring, cat walking across the back of a sofa. Till the sight of a roach makes her jaywalk. Plop, plop, the stealthy ball of fur stalks along the floor. Meow has so many ways. Coy, ticklish, demurring, till the glint in the eye betrays how suavely she portrays mayhem with a knowing smile. Thank you, everyone.
For some people, cats are parts of memories you would love to cherish. In fact, the very mention of cats makes our next presenter, Ketoki Dotto, remember her father's special fondness for cats, and she also can't help telling us about the love Ernest Hemingway had for his cat Snow White.
A very good evening to you. I'm Dr. Ketoki Dotto, an Associate Professor of English at Bidhannagar Government College. I'm indebted to Dr. Naina De for this invitation to make a video on cats. The very word cat rings bells somewhere at the back of my mind. My father was very much fond of cats. He could move heaven and earth for the comfort of a cat which he needed. I remember one incident when one evening he came back from the hospital after quite a few hours duty, and then, without taking a cup of tea, without relaxing on his armchair, he went straight to the mother cat who was about to give birth to her offsprings, and how with indefatigable energy he caressed her, he patted her on her back, and he tried to ease off the travail which mother cat Punti was subjected to, was suffering from, I should say. And then, one after another, when the offsprings were coming, the brood of kittens was taking birth, then my father was really thrilled. He was so happy. That happiness cannot be defined in any terms, And later on in my post-graduation days, I was fond of Ernest Hemingway, not for his short stories, not even for his novels, but for the love of cats which he had. In 1930, Stanley Dexter, a sailor by profession, had presented him with a cat, a small cat, which was cute, which he took in his hands, and he felt automatically that he was getting connected to the cute being, the furry being. He named it Snow White, and Stanley Dexter nicknamed it as Snowdrop. It was a polydactyl cat. That means it had 6 toes or more in one paw. And when, after the death of Hemingway, his house was transformed into a museum, these cats were not shooed away, but they were kept with much care there in the house. And the populace of the cats had reached 54 by that time. I cannot tell you how many there are now, Now, without much ado, I'm going to read out a poem to you, which I have written this evening only for you, my cat. Oh, furry thing, I love you, I coddle you. The way you throw your paws to the sky, the way you tote your kitten, holding them by their scruff to a safer place. I just love to see that. My cat, why do you purr when I fondle you? Do you miss me when I'm not around? Thank you.
Coming up is another presenter, Rotna Guo Mustafi, who is going to read her poem about real life experiences with cats.
Hello, I am Dr. Ratna Guhu Mustafi, a former associate professor and head in the Department of English at Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose College. I would be reading my poem titled Capricious Cats. The poem has 4 sections. Number 1. Cats impress me when seen at a safe distance. Their pranks amuse me when glued to a video screen. Never ever can I think of touching their furry body, though I love the cat's soft and silky mew. Love the way they make the purring sound, reminding us why they are better named Bagher Mashi. Number 2. My garage was Oreo's neonatal intensive care unit. I watched her 5 kittens slowly picking up a formidable size. One day, a pup went missing. It was Dapple Millie the kitten. As Chotu Leo, Golu Simba, Ricky Charlie, and Mithi Lucy were seen pressing on to the mother's breast. So our hunt was on. My driver opened the hood of my car. There lay the pup below the bonnet. It was winter, and the top of the engine provided warmth and shelter for the creature. The furry mammal managed to make its bed using a torn cotton bag. We uselessly worried and in our bafflement realized the little Dapple Millie was a superstar. Number 3. My mother is fond of cats. She fed them bounteous lunch in the afternoons. As this was the time, they appeared always, lingering and loitering around my mother. She pitied them, caressed them, and fed them. It was her year's practice. It soothed her while performing her responsibility. She never expected a breach of trust. Is it the ginger cat or black and white mishmash? To her astonishment, the hidden paws wounded her feet. She was safe after medication, and we forbade her not to be benevolent, but be responsible for her own safety. Number 4. I met a family of 3 members whose house was invaded by the furry mammals. The family was happy to shelter a half-score cats and a full-grown local street dog to oversee them all. Quite often, when I visited the family, it was either of the pets that greeted me loyally. As I sat chatting with the family in the drawing room, some of these 4-legged creatures jumped on the sofa, nestling within the soft cushions, or someone nibbling at my feet, making my stay uneasy and uncomfortable. I noticed those feline beings hovering over pots and pans. The large kitchen space was not a no-visit zone. The dog does keep a watchful eye as the cats move around and jump over shelves to get hold of a prey, a rat, a lizard, or play with ants lining up the wall. Cats are a favorite to many. I better look at them from a distance, if there are any. Thank you.
বেজায় গরম। গাছতলায় দিব্যি ছায়ার মধ্যে চুপচাপ শুয়ে আছি, তবু ঘেমে অস্থির। ঘাসের উপর রুমালটা ছিল। ঘাম মুছবার জন্য যেই সেটা তুলতে গিয়েছি, অমনি রুমালটা বলল, ম্যাও। কি আপদ, রুমালটা ম্যাও করে কেন? চেয়ে দেখি রুমাল তো আর রুমাল নেই, দিব্যি মোটা সোটা লাল টকটকে একটা বেড়াল গোঁফ ফুলিয়ে প্যাট প্যাট করে আমার দিকে তাকিয়ে আছে। আমি বললাম, কি মুশকিল, ছিল রুমাল, হয়ে গেল একটা বেড়াল। অমনি বেড়ালটা বলে উঠল, মুশকিল আবার কি, ছিল একটা ডিম, হয়ে গেল দিব্যি একটা প্যাক প্যাকে হাঁস। এ তো হামেশাই হচ্ছে। আমি খানিক ভেবে বললাম, তাহলে তোমায় এখন কি বলে ডাকবো? তুমি তো সত্যিকারের বেড়াল নও, আসলে তুমি হচ্ছ রুমাল। বেড়াল বলল, বেড়ালও বলতে পারো, রুমালও বলতে পারো, চন্দ্রবিন্দুও বলতে পারো। আমি বললাম, চন্দ্রবিন্দু কেন? শুনে বেড়ালটা তাও জানো না বলে এক চোখ বুঝে ফ্যাঁচ ফ্যাঁচ করে বিশ্রী রকম হাসতে লাগলো। So that was the beginning of Shukumar Ray's famous Hojoborolo, which features a cat with, which plays with words to deceive the human mind. Cats are somehow considered too clever for their own good. And I remember reading a story in the popular children's magazine Shondesh about a cat named Maupushi who was mean and manipulative. But the next presenter, Bulu Mukhopadhyay, will be reading a story about a cat named Corn. And this story is also from Shondesh. And the cat here faces an identity crisis. Coming up.
এই গল্পটা আমি পড়েছিলাম অনেক দিন আগে, সন্দেশে এটা বেরিয়েছিল। আমার এত ভালো লেগেছিল এই গল্পটা। আমি এরকম বিড়ালদের নিয়ে লেখা গল্প আমি আর পড়িনি। তো আজকে যে এই অকেশন পেলাম, আমি ভাবলাম এটা আমি সবাইকে একটু শোনাই। গল্পটার নাম হচ্ছে কন, লিখেছেন রুনু চট্টোপাধ্যায়। কন যে জাতে বেড়াল সে কথা অনেকদিন পর্যন্ত জানতো নাও। অনেকদিন আয়নার সামনে বসে নিজেকে দেখেছে, মনে হতো মা বাবারই দিচ্ছে একটু যেন ফর্সা। অমন তো কত লোকেরই হয়ে থাকে। এইসব কথা কন আয়নার সামনে বসে ভাবতো আর মুখটা এদিক ওদিক ঘুরিয়ে ঘুরিয়ে দেখতো। লোকে বেড়াতে এলে বাবা মা আদিক্ষেতা করে কনকে দেখাতো। বলতো ওই তো আলসেতে এইটুকুনি পড়েছিল, কত কাণ্ড করে তুলে এনে খরগোশের দুধ খাইয়ে মানুষ করা হলো ওকে। কেউ যদি বলতো নাম কি, বলা হতো কন, মানে ক আর ন। রাত্রিরে শুয়ে জানলা দিয়ে একটা মিটমিটি দুষ্টু তারার দিকে তাকিয়ে কনের কেমন দুষ্টুমি পেত। মনে হতো এমনি নিঃশব্দ রাতে কার্নিশ দিয়ে পাশের বাড়ির জানলায় গিয়ে দেখলে কেমন হয়। একদিন মাথায় দুষ্টু বুদ্ধিটা গজগজিয়ে উঠলো, ওইখানে কার্নিশ দিয়ে এবাড়ি ওবাড়ি করলে কি ও বেড়াল হয়ে যাবে? ও মা, কি সুন্দর পাশের বাড়ির ঘরটা, একটা দোলা আছে, ছোট্ট বাচ্চা শুয়ে আছে। ছোটবেলায় ও তো অমনি দোলায় শুয়ে থাকতো। আচ্ছা, এখন তো সত্যিও তেমন বড় হয়নি, বাচ্চাটার পাশে একটু শুলে কেমন হয়? ও মা, যেই দোলায় কন লাফিয়ে উঠেছে, বাচ্চাটা কি কান্না, আর ছেলেটার মা ভাঙা ভাঙা গলায় চেঁচিয়ে বিল্লি বিল্লি। ছেলেটার গালে আস্তে একটা চড় মেরে বাড়ি ফিরে এলো কন। বাবা, ছেলেটার মার কিরম গলা, বিল্লি বিল্লি বলে চেঁচানোই বা কেন? কি জানি বিল্লি মানে কি, বিড়াল নয় তো। দুপুরবেলা কনের খুব একা একা লাগতো। একদিন দুপুরবেলা এরকম বসে আছে জানলায়, এমন সময় জানলার উপরে কার্নিশে কে যেন বলে উঠলো, কিরে তুই এখানে থাকিস নাকি? দেখে একটা কালো কালো ছাপওয়ালা বেড়াল ওর দিকে তাকিয়ে হাসছে। কন বলল, কে রে তুই, এখানে এসছিস কেন? দুধ আছে তো আঢাকা। সেই কথা শুনে বেড়ালটার কি হাসি। সে বলল, তুই তাহলে বেড়াল তপস্বী, যা যা সর দেখি কোথায় দুধটা আছে, আয় ভাগাভাগি করে দুজনে খাই। দেখ, বেড়াল বলবি না আমাকে বলছি, আমি সামনের বছর স্কুল যাবো, দিদি বলেছে। স্কুলে যাবি? তা ভালো, ওখানে মাছ টাছ পাওয়া যায়। আমরা তো মাঝে মাঝে হাসপাতালে স্কুলে দল বেঁধে যাই, মাছ দুধ বেশ পাওয়া যায়। এইসব বলে কনের খুব রাগ হতে লাগলো। সবে ও ও বলে বকতে শুরু করেছে, এমন সময় মা বকতে লাগলো, কন আবার চেঁচাচ্ছ, দুষ্টু বেড়ালদের সঙ্গে মিশছো, যাও শুয়ে পড়ো দুষ্টু ছেলে। সন্ধেবেলা কন নিজের কানে শুনলো মা বাবাকে বলছে কনের কিন্তু বেড়াল বন্ধু হচ্ছে। রাত্রিবেলা কনের ইচ্ছে করে গাছের ছায়াগুলোর সঙ্গে খেলতে, যেই ধরতে যাচ্ছে অমনি পাতাটা গাছটা দুলে যাচ্ছে আর ছায়াটা পালিয়ে যাচ্ছে। জানলার কাছে এই সময় সেই কন শুনলো বেড়ালটা বলছে, এই কি যেন তোর নাম, কন নাকি, এদিকে আয় না। জানলার ধারে গিয়ে কন বলল, অমন যাচ্ছিস কেন রে, সকলের ঘুম ভেঙে যাবে তো, তোর চোখে ঘুম নেই নাকি? চল না, আমরা সবাই মিলে চাঁদের আলোয় ধুলোয় গড়াগড়ি দেবো, তারপর পাড়ার বিয়ে বাড়িতে যাবো, কি বড় বড় মাছ, তোকে সকালবেলা পৌঁছিয়ে দেব। আমায় বেড়াল বলে ভাববি না তো তোদের সঙ্গে গেলে? আরে না, তুই মানুষ, তোকে বেড়াল ভাবতে পারি? হ্যাঁ রে, তোদের বাড়িতে কিছু খাবার নেই? কাল তোদের বাড়ি আসিস, মাছ খাওয়াবো। আজ এটো কাটাও নেই। চল উঠোনে নামি। কি বললি? সিঁড়ি দিয়ে নামবি? এই তো আমার মতো করে নাম। উঠোনে এসে সেই বেড়ালটা অন্য বেড়ালদের দিকে কেমন একটা চোখ করে বলল, এই এর নাম কন, আমাদের সঙ্গে খেলতে এসেছে, চলো সবাই ডিগবাজি খাও, ধুলো ছোড়াছুড়ি করো। কনের তো একটু অস্বস্তি হচ্ছিল। আজই নিম সাবান দিয়ে মা ওকে চান করিয়ে দিয়েছে। ময়লা ঘাটলে মা কীরকম রাগ করে। কনকে দাঁড়িয়ে থাকতে দেখে অন্য বেড়ালগুলো ওকে ধাক্কা দিয়ে ফেলে দিল। আর তারপরে হুটোপুটি ধুলো মাখামাখি। এমন সময় পাশের বাড়ির জানলায় শুনলো কে যেন বলছে, বেড়ালগুলোর জ্বালায় রাত্রিরে ঘুমানোর জন্যে কি চেঁচামেচি। তারপরে এক বাটি জল ওদের দিকে ছুঁড়ে দিয়ে জানলা বন্ধ করে দিল। কনের তো মাথা কাটা গেল। সত্যি সত্যি ওকেও বেড়াল ভাবলো তো। তাড়াতাড়ি বাড়ি পালিয়ে এসে ধুলো মাখা অবস্থাতেই শুয়ে পড়লো। ঘুম ভাঙলো তখন অনেক বেলা হয়ে গেছে। ভয় ভয় রান্নাঘরে মার সামনে দাঁড়ালো। মায়ের মুখটা থমথমে। কন মার চোখের দিকে তাকিয়ে মাথা নিচু করে বললো, আর কখনো এরকম করবো না, দোষ হয়েছে। যাও, দুধ রয়েছে বাটিতে, খাও গে, আর চেঁচিও না। পারো তো আবার বিড়াল পল্লীতে যেও, স্বভাব যাবে কোথায়। দুধ খেয়ে কন মাথা নিচু করে দিদির কাছে গেল। দিদি বলল, কি রে কন, পড়াশুনো ছেড়ে দিলি নাকি? আয় পড়বি আয়। দিদির কাছে বসে অঙ্ক দেখতে দেখতে কনের মনে হলো ওরা, মানে ওই বেড়ালগুলো আর কি, ওরা মনে হয় এতক্ষণে বিয়ে বাড়িতে ঘোরাঘুরি করছে। কোন কখনো বিয়ে বাড়ি যায়নি, একবার বিয়ে বাড়ি যেতে হবে। দুপুরবেলা সেদিন মেঘলা মেঘলা দুপুরে কি হবে, কি করছে, কি করতে হবে, এইসব ভাবছিল। তখন ভাবছিল কেমন হয় পাশের বাড়ির পাঁচিলে বেড়ালে। মা তো ঘুমোচ্ছে, জানতে পারবে না, বিকেলে ফিরে আসবে। এমন সময় সেই বেড়ালটা ছিল, পাঁচিলে হাঁটছিল, কালো সাদা ছাপলা বেড়ালটা। সে বলল, কিরে কন, তোদের বাড়ি আজও কি কিছু নেই নাকি? কিরকম গেরস্থ রে তোরা? কনের মনে হলো সত্যি আজও যদি না খাওয়াতে পারে ওকে, তাহলে খুব লজ্জার ব্যাপার হবে। বললো, চল রান্নাঘরে আস, চল, রাত্রিরের মাছ আছে, তোকে খাওয়াই তার থেকে। পুডিং খাস? বেড়ালটা কেমন একটা মুখ করে বললো, আমরা ডাঁটা চচ্চড়ি থেকে শুরু করে পুডিং অবধি কোনো কিছুই বাদ দিই না। কন ভাবলো ওকে একা খাওয়ালে খারাপ দেখায়, একটাই তো মাছ খাবে ওরা দুজনে, মাছ খেলেই বুঝি বেড়াল হয়ে যাবে। দিদিও তো সেদিন ইলিশ মাছের ডিম রান্নাঘরে এসে নিয়ে খেয়েছিল, কনকেও দিয়েছিল। বেড়ালটা খেয়ে বলল, বেশ রান্না করে তোর মা, আজ আবার একটা বিয়ে বাড়ি আছে। বেড়ালটাকে যখন পৌঁছে দিতে যাচ্ছে, হঠাৎ আয়নার দিকে চোখ পড়লো কনের। একবার মুখটা দেখার লোভটা সামলাতে পারলো না, মুখটা এদিক ওদিক ঘুরিয়ে দেখছে। আমার সময় বেড়ালটা বলে উঠলো, কন, তোর মুখটা কিন্তু অনেকটা আমার মতো। আয়নাতে দুজনের চেহারাটা দেখলো কন। আর কোনো সন্দেহ নেই, যাতে সে বেড়াল। ঘর বাড়ি মা সব দূরে চলে গেল। একটু থেমে কি ভেবে নিয়ে বেড়ালটাকে বললো, চল আমিও যাবো বিয়ে বাড়ি। পাশের বাড়ির উঠোন দিয়ে যখন যাচ্ছি, জানলা দিয়ে শুনতে পেলো কন ডাকছে, কন মা ডাকছে, কন কন বলে। জানলার দিকে দাঁড়ালো কন, একটু মনটা কেমন করে উঠলো। বেড়ালটা বললো, চল শিগগিরই আয়, ওদের বাড়ি বর এসে গেছে। কন 1 মিনিট দাঁড়ালো, একবার মার দিকে তাকালো, তারপর বিয়ে বাড়ি চলে গেল।
Our next presentation is of Amita Ray reading an excerpt from her short story Taming of the Cat, in which one of the characters befriends a stray cat named Gulu, and Gulu ultimately becomes a part of the human family.
Well, I am Amita Rai. Thank you, Noina, for inviting me to read something for International Cats Day, International Cat Day, which falls on 8th of August. So here I am reading an excerpt from my short story from this book, from my book, Trail of Love and Longings. And this happens to be the end portion of the story. Well, the story is all about how the narrator of the story And most interestingly, how the narrator's brother, Pratap, falls in love or befriends a cat, a stray cat named Gullu, when they go to visit their grandfather's house in a countryside. So, here am I reading the excerpt. The eventful night came the day after. Night in such remote places in the winter season descends early. We had finished our dinner and were about to tuck into the warmth of blankets. Suddenly, a volley of metallic sounds ripped the nocturnal quietude. Sorry. The silence of the chilly night was shattered by an unexpected din downstairs. It seemed that some intruders were trying to gain access by breaking the main collapsible gate. The thundering, arbitrary blows downstairs grew appalling. Perplexed and at a loss to ascertain the cause of the pandemonium, my mother breathed an inaudible prayer. Soon, the courtyard downstairs was abuzz with voices of the inmates of the rooms on the ground floor, the servants and their family. We could see them moving around with flickering oil lamps which highlighted the ruddy glow on their awestruck faces. We hastened downstairs to find that the ruckus blows seemed to emerge from a room unused and under lock and key. Fetching the keys quickly, I unlocked it gently and peeped into the room through the door slightly ajar. The sound climaxed to a frenzied peak as I raised the oil lamp trying to figure out its source in the dark room. Good gracious! We stood stupefied at the revelation. It was Gullu, who probably had leapt down inside the dark room through an open window and landed with her head straight inside a brass jar kept near the window. In a bid to free herself from the stifling situation, it ran frantically, blindfolded, with the head embedded in an alien headgear. The sound resulted from a furious but futile effort to do so as the brass jar banged on the ground, wall, and every conceivable object in the spacious room. Gripped with breathlessness, sightlessness, and helplessness, the poor cat banged on erratically. Thank God there was a spout to the jar to let her breathe. It was now time to tame the cat. We were not surprised when Pratap made the initial move. He had turned over a new leaf in the preceding days. He brought the disoriented, almost suffocated creature to rest effortlessly, sat down, caressed it, and cautiously fed her from its muzzled state, while we, the spectators, breathed a sigh of relief. "Go get some warm milk," Pratap ordered in a peremptory way. After being pampered with a cup of milk and oodles of love, Gullu was eventually set free. What amazed us most was Pratap's role in the night's episode. He who had been absolutely apathetic to Gullu a couple of days before had turned into her savior. It was Gullu's endearing ways that had kindled his love for her. At Pratap's insistence, Gullu accompanied us to Kolkata to live happily ever after. As you must have guessed that Gullu is the name of the cat, the stray cat. And the name of the story is Taming of the Cat. Thank you.
Certain phrases and idioms have come into being with references to cats. For example, who will bell the cat or the cat in the adage. It is also popularly believed that cats have 9 lives. Whether this is true or not, my mother says cats have an exceptionally strong sixth sense, and that if you get a fishbone in your throat and a cat happens to be nearby, it is sure to know. Well, I did get a fishbone in my throat once, and while I was frantically looking for a doctor, a cat came in front of me out of nowhere and sat right in front and stared and stared and stared. Well, this is getting a bit unsettling. I could finally find a doctor who took out the bone, and I went for work. Anyway, let us now have our last presenter, Dhi Shankar, read a poem on the tiger's aunt, the calico cat, with its tricolor coat. Here it is.
Hello, I am Dhi Shankar, a doctoral student in Presidency University, Kolkata. I am going to read a poem on a special kind of cat called calico cats, which have yellow and black stripes or patches all over their body, and that makes them look somewhat like a tiger. Calicos are also predominantly female cats. Interestingly, in Bangla, we call cats bagher mashi or tiger's aunts, irrespective of their sex. These are some of the ideas which find reflection in this poem. Calico. You mostly amble like a queen, but you also curl up. You puff yourself up as you preen, but often you also slump. We call you tiger's aunts in here. Even your men get that. But your color is mostly female. A tigress, you pray for a rat. You are amongst humans a secret goddess. A tigress, humbly feline. Or perhaps I see ghosts in your face. It's a mistake that's only mine. You mostly amble like a queen. Yet sometimes you also run. I will never know what you mean, or if you are the one. Thank you.
With this, I would like to conclude by thanking all the participants, namely Rituparna Khan, Monobina Nath, Ratna Guho Mustafi, Bulu Mukhopadhyay, Amita Ray, Jolly Das, Ketoki Dotto, Mandakini Bhattacharya, and Dhi Shankar for giving their valuable time to Chamunda's dream for making this event titled Cats a success. Chamunda's dream also thanks you, the viewers, who have taken time out of your busy schedules to watch us perform. Hoping We will meet again soon for future projects. Thank you.